Hello everyone, welcome back to the SimZone. We are here for the final round of the Trackday Championship, and it's a very close one here going into the final round between Fisher and Savini. Fisher taking the win last time out, but it's not going to be easy into the final round. Let's just bring up the session times. I believe we are expecting a few more drivers, but they are running late. But Fisher is currently on provisional pole, 136 flat here from him. Savini in P2, 2.5 tenths back. Ivanov in P3, 6 tenths off. And well, Seeley unable to set a time just yet. He was quite close to the top drivers in the qualifying session, so let's see what he can do. But Savini 6 tenths up as he approaches the line, and it's going to be provisional pole for him, 35.6 there from Savini. A good lap time there. But there's still much more to find. Obviously a fast track once again, and all brushing the barrier into the braking zone for turn 1. That's how close he's got, and that's how much he's pushing the car at the moment in this qualifying session, using all of the track available, and a bit too much there, running a bit too wide, so that's an invalid lap for Savini. We've got Civolotti in P4, 2 seconds off though, so I think it's possibly just going to be the top 3 that run away in this one, and hopefully have a close battle. Seeley as well, still yet to set a time, so he could join in the action, but we are yet to see that from him. There we go, Civolotti now onto this back straight, and then through the S's. At 3 tenths up, he needs a lot more time on this lap if he wants to be close to Ivanov. Ivanov is a whole 1.2 seconds in front. And let's take a quick look at the championship standings after Civolotti does cross the line. It's 4 tenths up. It's going to be an improvement, but it's not going to be enough. And in fact, Pagano is a whole second up here. So he's got some more time on this lap and still got this last sector to go. 1.1 seconds up. Pagano could find himself into the top 4, so possibly on the second row, and let's see what can Pagano do as he crosses the line. And it is P4 there for Pagano, within a second to Savini then. And let's bring up the championship standings now. So Savini leading the championship on 614 points, with Fisher in second on 593, but although the scoring is quite close, Fisher's going to need something special here to take the championship. Even if Savini finishes 1 position behind him, it's not going to be enough. He needs a bit more than that. Demori in P3 on 524, actually tied with Thomas on 524. Ivanov in 5th on 523. Where is Seeley put the car in P4 actually as he did his last lap then, sorry. So he did a 136.4. And he's now a second off, and Savini improves once more. But Civolotti in P6, then on 504. And you can see Demori, Thomas and Ivanov all very, very close. But with Demori and Thomas not here today, I think Ivanov's going to jump them in the standings. So I think that's their hopes for a podium gone. Then we got Pagano P7, 502 points. Vining P8 on 465. Fister P9 on 435. Seeley P10 on 420. Dan in P11 on 355. Gazzi in P12 on 342. Vitbu in P13 on 333. And Fornes in P14 on 312. So Seeley then returning the car to the pits, doesn't think he can improve this time out. We've got now Savini and Fisher both exiting the pits. Will Fisher try and follow Savini? A bit of a slipstream here, a bit of a tow around the circuit. It's possible, but he's half a second back at the moment, so it might even be that Savini runs away with the win here at Indianapolis. Pretty much everyone on yeah, not pretty much everyone on an invalid lap apart from Cosford, who is currently on a valid lap, but he's a 10th down on his personal best. He needs to find some more time. Currently at the back of the grid in P8. And now Fisher on another lap. Let's go on board with him for this lap here at Indianapolis. They're down into second gear, using the curb on the inside and a bit on the exit as well. Flat out here until the braking zone. Once again, double apex. Long left-hander. You can hear there a bit of oversteer from the car. And onto the grass as well. That's not going to help him, but he is just a tenth up as we now approach the S's. Heavy braking, and it's so important to focus on the exit here. This next right-hander we can cut a lot on the inside, as you can see Fisher doing there. And it's important to get a good exit there because it's a long run. Not too long, but it is a flat-out section until the next braking zone. And then Fisher across the line. What's he going to do? He does improve. A 135.5. So a bit closer to Savini. Still 2/10 off, and he's on his last lap now. His last chance to improve. What can he do now? Pressure must be on here. Savini is still up for a slight improvement. But where can Fisher find 2/10? There we go. Sealy in the pits in P3 currently. Ivanov is on a lap still. Pagano, Civilotti and Kaufman all sat in the pits, and actually Cosford is 3/10 up. So he could find himself maybe, if he needs a bit more time to get into P6, but P7 is on the cards here. He needs 4/10, and he is actually 4/10 up. Bit squarely on the exit. That's lost him a tenth there, but there's still a lot of the lap to go to find some more time. Where is Fisher? Coming towards the end of the lap now. A 10th up currently. Savini isn't up for an improvement just yet. Fisher still a 10th up, getting the rear out. That's not what he wanted at all, and that's cost him a lot of time. He's going to cross the line, and I don't think he's really going to improve. So Fisher crosses the line, and no improvement there. So there we have it, ladies and gents. Savini P1, Fisher P2, and Sealy P3. We'll be back in just a moment for the start of the race. So here we go. Drivers are now on the formation lap. And as we saw in qualifying, Savini taking pole. And that's going to help him at the start. He is leading the championship. This is what he needs. Even if he finishes just one position behind Fischer, he'll still take the championship lead. So I think there's not much pressure on Savini at the moment. But for Fischer, he needs to push to the maximum, and he needs something special to happen here to Savini. But Fischer P2, Sealy P3, Ivanov P4, Pagano P5, Civilotti in P6, P7 is Cosford, P8 Kaufman, and that rounds off the grid. Yeah, Steph, it was much better last week, but I think when you know you're not really going to win the prize, then I think that's what people think, and the weather doesn't help either. But we do have one more round of the Next Level Racing Championship on Tuesday. No, sorry, IMB Championship on Wednesday, and then one more round of the Moser Champ on Thursday, and then that's our season over. And we'll be back after. We'll be back in September. But of course, we will do a few off-season events, not too many, but just a few. Keep people interested. And in fact, we got one on Sunday, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. That is for console, though. There we go, drivers lining up side by side, Savini and Fischer on the front row, and Savini off to a good start now. Is Fischer going to slot in behind just to cover off the rest of the drivers? Yes, he is. And heading down towards turn one, look how close they are to the pit wall. Now they open up the corner. Savini in the middle of the track, and he's going to hold that position, but he's gone a bit deeper to the corner, and Fischer's going to go around the outside, bit of door rubbing between the two, and Fischer is now going to take the race lead. So Savini way too late on the brakes into turn one, overshot the corner slightly, and Fischer got the move done on the exit, and the rear of that Porsche sliding everywhere as we speak. And looks like Sealy in the background has got past Civilotti now, and a brilliant move there from Sealy, getting the rear out once again, but back up into P3 he goes. He didn't get the best start off the line, but he's made the positions back, and on the grass they go. That's Ivanov following him off as well, and is that Cosford side by side with, I believe that's Civilotti and Kaufman in the yellow Ferrari just behind, but surely they're gonna have to leave each other enough for him bouncing over the curb there. It's a dangerous curb to take, but back to the top two. Fischer P1 still leading the race after turn one and two, and now he's pulling away from Savini. This is what he needs, but if I was Fischer, I'd be slowing down a bit, backing up Savini into the rest of the pack, and looks like that's Ivanov down the inside, no, Pagano down the inside of Ivanov, and a brilliant move there from Pagano. Ivanov had to let him have the corner, otherwise he would have been run off the track there. And Steph saying this off-season is looking fun this weekend for sure. Yeah, I'll talk about that in just a minute. And oh, Ivanov with a huge mistake there, a bit too wide in the exit, and took that horrible bump and nearly even the grass as well. But that looks like Civilotti's now going to sail past him down the straight. He's going to have the inside going up into turn one, and I think he's going to be able to hold that position. There we go, into turn one he goes, but oh, maybe not. No, he's going to have that. And Ivanov close behind, but has to slam on the brakes there. Now Fischer, is he backing up Savini into the rest of the pack? No, he's not. He's still trying to pull away. So Fischer knows that even if Savini finishes one place behind him, Savini will still take the championship win. So Fischer's going to need to try something different rather than trying to pull away from Savini. In the slow corners, he's got to bunch the pack up together, so Savini's got some pressure behind him. Sealy's not far behind, and well, the rest of the pack isn't far behind either. No, well, the rest of the grid, because that is pretty much the grid. Steph saying Fischer will have to think about every single move he'll make this race. Yes, he will, and the pit stops will be crucial as well. but Fischer has to back up severely into the rest of the field. There's no other way that he's going to be able to win the championship here. And Savini's sticking with him, but doesn't need to challenge for anything. Steph saying maybe Fischer will want to make first make it past the pit stops to possibly prevent an undercut and overcut. Yeah, possibly, but that will only... I mean, there's still another 14 minutes, isn't it, till the pit window? And they're only going to start pulling away even more from the rest of the field, so now is the time to do it. When the pits open, I think then he can start thinking about opening up the gap again. But I mean, if Savini pits first, tries to go for an undercut, all Fischer has to do is pit the next lap to cover it off. And he needs to start backing up Savini to the rest of the pack here, or they need to start battling. Because look, they've already pulled another second to Sealy now. 3 seconds back is Sealy to Savini. And there we go, Savini getting quite close now. And here's Fischer backing him up into the rest of the pack. I'm not too sure. And let's go down to P8 nevertheless. Ivanov in P8, and we don't have our secondary screen because well, it's just too hot to have another computer running at the moment. And Ivanov, is he going to look for a move? And Cosford did start in P7, but was ahead of Kaufman. Kaufman's had a brilliant start to the race and back to the top two, just 3/10 apart here. Savini in the slipstream now, the fastest lap of the race, a 135.4, and Fischer did a 135.5. Savini looking for a move down the inside into turn 1, but isn't going to get it done here. Looks for an inside move into turn 2, but backs out of it and loses time by doing so. But these two are still pulling away lap after lap from Sealy. That's not going to help Fischer's chances of the championship. And it looks like it's still Kaufman, Cosford and Ivanov, P6, 7 and 8 battling for position. Sealy has got Pagano close behind him. Has to watch out for Pagano. They're still pulling away from the rest of the field. Very interesting here from Fischer, but we'll see what he can do. In the meantime, we go back to this battle. Steph saying it looks like Fischer is pushing a bit, but the gap is getting really big already. We've got a bit of snake going on in the background here, with the drivers following each other in the slipstream, but not anymore. Kosovo's looking for some space on the outside. No space there. He's going to try it around the outside into turn 1. It's not going to work there. And in fact, he's going to lose a position to Ivanov. No, they're still side by side. And I think through this right-hander now, Ivanov's going to have that move done. And yes, he does. Now he's got a chance at getting back Kaufman. But Ivanov has started in P4. He's dropped down to P7. And oh, that was very, very close there. That could have ended badly. But it's still brilliant racing between these three, and Cosford gets back ahead of Ivanov now. Down the straight, Ivanov's got a good exit. That's Kaufman onto the grass, and they've both got a much better exit here than Kaufman. Which way are they going to decide to go? They pull towards the inside. Kaufman using the racing line, and Cosford late on the brakes down the inside, and Kaufman turns into him there. Cosford was on the inside, and now he's at a risk of losing a position here to Ivanov, and a contact between the two. And God, that was a huge tank slapper there for Kaufman, but I think he did that to himself, to be honest. Turned in on Cosford, and Ivanov was next to him then. Pretty much game over there for Kaufman, but down into P8 he goes, and he's lost lots of time to the two ahead now. But back to the race, the battle for the lead. The race leader Fischer still 4/10 ahead of Savini. And let's get an onboard here from Savini in the 992 Porsche. Keeping it in third gear there. You can see he's fighting the wheel, fighting the car as he goes through the corner on the limit at the moment. You see that bit of understeer, bit of oversteer through the corners. That's when you know you found the limit. But like I said earlier, Savini's got not much to lose here. I mean, he is leading the championship, but all he has to do is finish a position behind Fischer. And with these two pulling away from the rest of the field, Savini's pretty much okay. And like I said earlier, Fischer needs to back him up into the rest of the field. If not, he's already lost the championship in my eyes. Let us know what you would do if you were in Fischer's position. And let's go quickly to the battle between... Oh, what's happened to Ivanov? He's made a mistake here onto the grass, and he's now a second back to Cosford. Looks to be a little less now. He's in the slipstream. But he made a mistake. He was 2/10 back to Cosford. Saw a bit of grass flying up into the air, and you can see Kaufman now 4.6 seconds back. That's a huge gap he's got. And letting the brakes there from Ivanov, almost overshooting the corner. And where is Sealy? Pretty much driving around on his own. Pagano doing the same, which was much closer to Sealy earlier on in the race, but he's dropped back now. The top two still just following each other. I don't think there'll be too much battling going on between the two. But for Ivanov and Cosford, these two have been chopping and changing positions ever since the start. And it's a brilliant matchup between these two, but Ivanov started P4, so he's pretty much out of position at this point. Struggling to get past, and he's got damage on the car now. Steph saying Fischer will have to hold up Savini pretty soon. Yeah, he will have to. They're about 5 seconds back now to in front of Sealy. On board now with Ivanov, heading down towards turn 1. And it actually looks like Cosford is pulling away slightly. Or it's just a bit of rubber banding between the two. But Ivanov not really closing up in the slipstream either, so maybe lower wing on that Ferrari of Cosford. That bit of dirt being thrown up into the air. That's Civilotti in front of these two. The top two now just 3/10 apart, 4/10 apart. But no overtakes going on between those two just yet, apart from lap 1 of course, where Fischer managed to get past. Steph saying he thinks a later pit stop will be the best for Savini. I don't know. He's stuck behind at the moment, so usually undercut works the best. But he doesn't really need to get past. What he needs to do is stay behind. So even if he follows Fisher in, he'll be perfectly fine. And that's why Fisher can't treat this like a normal race. He has to do something special. Like we said, back Savini up to the rest of the pack. So then Savini's got some pressure behind him, and possibly he can put 1 or 2 cars in between the two of them. But yeah, Fisher's not doing that. I'm quite surprised actually that he's just continuing to lap out in the front. But maybe we might see it, like you said, Steph, after the pit window is opened or after the pit window is closed. But at that point there's just not really much time left in the race. But it could be what he's planning on doing. But you can see they've already pulled 7.5 seconds to Searle, and it's been about 15 minutes into the race now. So just imagine how much more time they're going to put away by the time the pit window closes. There'll be a lot of time lost. We go back to Ivanov and Cosford. Cosford still fending off Ivanov here, and they don't seem to be battling too hard because they are closing up to Civolotti. Just 2 seconds to Civolotti now. Ivanov looking for a move down the inside actually. They'll still seem to be maybe a bit quicker than Cosford. Hasn't found a way past, and getting onto the main straight, it seems like Cosford always has the better exit out of the final corner and then pulls away on the straight as a result. Steph saying he hopes Fisher realises that the situation he is in. He does know that he does know the championship score, the championship points, and what he has to do. But maybe he's got something else, another trick up his sleeve. I know these two have now caught up to the back of Civolotti. This is another 3-car battle. Kaufman's 7 seconds behind now, so he's no longer involved in this. And onto the grass they both go, Cosford and Ivanov. And the top two now just 2 tenths apart. How close are they? Glued to each other at the moment. And Savini looking for a move down the inside, but Fisher isn't phased whatsoever. Back to this 3-way battle now for P5. Civolotti's got to put his foot down now if he wants to hold on to this position, but that last lap from Civolotti, a 38.7. His best lap though, a 36.8, which is quicker than a 100th quicker than Ivanov's best lap. So he has what it takes to keep ahead, but it could be tyre wear. Even pressure's started to drop now as we get later on into the evening, or just a big mistake that last time round for Civolotti. Now comparing their lap times to the top two, Fisher and Savini, both 136 flat, pretty much for the two. And they are much quicker than the rest of the field at the moment. Searle though very close to their pace at 136.2 from Searle, so just 2 tenths slower. Steph's saying, is the multiplier on ×2? I will double check for you. Let me have a look. Yes, it is. It's on ×2. And Cosford deep into the corner there. Ivanov looking for a way past, isn't able to find a place into this narrow section of the track. But yeah, the race started fairly light, and we're going to finish into the dark. Look how close these two are now. Ivanov getting a bit impatient. I reckon could have stuck his nose down the inside there. Doesn't want to risk it just yet, clipping a bit of the grass on the inside. But they are losing time now to Civilotti just by battling. So we go back to the top two, Savini and Fisher. Still Fisher trying to pull away from Savini. No interesting tactics yet from the race leader. And as well with Savini, I guess you could say being held back a bit. And look after his tyres. So Steph, with you saying he can go for a later pit stop, it could benefit him if he's saving his tyres right now. But like we said, it doesn't really matter. So we go back to this three-car battle. Now they've caught back up to Civilotti. Ivanov has been stuck behind Cosford for a long time now, and he's still got that damage on his car. You can see the headlights is flashing ever so slightly into the braking zones. Ivanov could have definitely gone for some risky moves here, but being very, very patient, as we've still got the pit stops to go, and you can get the moves done there. And Kaufman into the pits. What's happened to Kaufman? Oh no, he's waiting. He's made a massive error because the pits have not opened yet, and he's going to lose lots of time here by being sat on the track. What has happened to Kaufman? He's made a huge error and he's still sat there. I think he's possibly realised his mistake as we go back to the top two, Fisher and Savini, almost side by side into the braking zone, and Savini really putting on the pressure now, trying to find a way past. And look how close he is. That's almost touching there. And yet, Kaufman has retired from the race. He knew his mistake, and it was pretty much game over there for him. But a shame that some drivers are retiring, and all very late on the brakes there from Savini. Steph Jake saying, I'm wondering what Fisher's plan is. He'll have to do something soon, right? Yes, he will. Seeley's now 10 seconds back to Savini. But yeah, with the drivers who aren't attending and the drivers who are retiring from the races, of course SimGrid will be releasing, or they plan to, it's been suggested by other communities as well as us, to bring in attendance ratios, attendance stats on SimGrid. That way we can filter or have a attendance percentage, a minimum attendance percentage to enter the championship, and I think a lot of leagues will be doing the same. So it will only negatively affect the drivers who aren't turning up and who are retiring from races as well. That's Ivanov now into the pits for an undercut. Cosford and Civilotti still out. They're going to be battling out on track, so wise decision there from Ivanov to pit. They're saying the only thing is used SimGrid for so far as the Porsche Cup. Yeah. Well, next season for console will be on SimGrid, I believe. Ivanov saying, what was that? What was what? And oh, Savini with a late move down the inside into turn one. Fisher's going to leave him the room on the inside, but he's not going to be able to do it. So there we go. Holds on just about. But he's under some serious pressure now. Here's Savini. Ivanov still in the pits, interestingly. Is it a retirement? I sure hope not. But he's been sat in the pits for quite a while. Or maybe there's something we didn't see. Oh, Ivanov saying something happened, he ended up in a wall. Oh god. Not good to see, but he is back out on track, so maybe damage repairs there for him. And it's still Fisher and Savini battling out on track. Garner now into the pits. I believe he wasn't too far off of Sealy before entering. I'm not too sure. It may have been a bit more actually, but we'll obviously see when Sealy serves his pit stop as well. A little bit of a mistake there from Savini. Bump. There's a bit of a bump there in the middle of the track, which can unsettle the car, and that's pretty much what happened to Savini there. Caused him to run wide. It's now put a second between the two. Steph saying he got a small jump scare from the tower turning into a US flag. Yep, if you didn't know, Indianapolis is in the US. There's your fact of the day. And that's Pagano now into the pits. Oh no, still in the pits, sorry. It is a long pit lane here at Indianapolis. Very, very long pit lane. Some have said it's a bit like a runway. A plane's to land on, and I think you probably could land a plane on there. Look how long that pit lane is. Maybe a small aircraft of some sorts, I don't know. Might be a bit too short, but it is a very long pit lane. And that's why drivers do not want to be picking up any track limit penalties or risk a drive through here at Indy. It'll only cause them to lose out even more. Steph saying let's get someone to land a plane in there, either in Microsoft's flight sim or in real life, and that's Fisher, race leader, now into the pits. Early pit stop there for him, and Savini is going to keep it out on track. And this is what you said, Steph, the overcut is going to keep it out for long. But interesting to see Fisher pitting early. I definitely wouldn't have. But it looks like that is that Pagano behind. Yeah, but it is obviously on a different strategy to Savini. And we go down to Cosford and Civilotti, just a second apart, still both yet to enter the pits. And as I say that, Cosford entering the pits now. And this is probably the worst camera angle we've ever seen. Let's try and get a heli cam, that's probably better. Cosford into the pits. Fisher's still in there. That's going to release Civilotti. Wasn't a bit of clean air before, but he had some pressure from Cosford behind. So they're saying, let's see how it all. I can't read. Let's see how this will play out. I can't see it ending well for Fisher, sadly. Yeah, I don't think Fisher's gone for the right strategy here, unfortunately. But you never know. There's still half the race left to go, and bit of a mistake there from Civilotti. There's still half of the race left to go, and anything could happen. Yep, only the best of camera angles. I mean, we're only using the ones that we've got available. ACC give us the cameraman, I think, at Indy, but at least the one that's towards the pit lane needs to be fired from his job, or her job. And very late in the brakes there from Civilotti. He's going to be losing crucial time here to Cosford, who is now out of the pits. That is Civilotti into the pits. It's just such a long pit lane that whoever you're battling with nearly laps you after you've done your pit stop. Cosford can pretty much do a whole lap here before Civilotti's done his pit stop. And let's see the pit stop times then, how long they've spent in the pit lane. Yeah, that's a long time. That's nearly a full lap there. At a minute 20, a minute 30 nearly in the pits. Yes, Jeff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and nearly a minute 30. A minute 25 average, let's say. And the lap times here, what we've been seeing, ranging from 135s to about 137s in terms of lap time. And now, where is Cosford on track? He's approaching the final corner. Where is Civilotti? Got going now. Cosford exiting the final corner. How close is it going to be between these two? We saw Civilotti make a few mistakes. I think Cosford's going to have this one. Will he overtake him? Where are the two? Is he going to see him in the pits? Down it. No, he's out. Oh, yes, he is. He is. And I think it's going to be quite close, actually. And Cosford has got it done. It is still very close between the two. And there we go. Civilotti just emerges behind Cosford. But the undercut has worked there for Cosford. He's now ahead, but Fisher, this is interesting. 12 seconds ahead to Savini. That's quite a big gap, but it's not going to help him whatsoever. I don't think it matters, even if it's a 30-second gap to Savini. It's not going to matter at all. Yeah, Savini. I mean, Savini had a good pit stop, but I think has he lost the car somewhere? Made a mistake somewhere out on track. I'm not actually sure if he's got any penalties like a stop go 30 or a drive through. I don't believe he does. So interesting. But Civilotti back into the pits, I think. Is that a drive-through for Civilotti? I'm not sure. What's happened to him? Or is it stop go 30? He's stopping in his box. I think it might be a stop go penalty for Civilotti. He's now dropped down and Ivanov gained a position as a result. FJ saying he wonders what Fischer can do at this point. He has to wait 12 seconds and then hold up Savini for 10 more. Yeah, it's not easy to do, but maybe Fischer, maybe he's just accepted his loss at this point. Well, has there been a penalty for Savini? We don't know. It doesn't look like there has been. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's been a penalty for Savini, so we really don't know why he's so far back, but yeah, Fischer's going to have to wait. And then back up Savini into Sealy, and he should have done that at the start of the race. Now getting towards the end, it's going to be difficult, very, very difficult to do anything at this stage, really. Well, Steph, when you're fighting for something like this, I think you've got to go for tactics like that. Especially, I mean, it happens in esports as well. Taddy's saying, did Fischer pit? Yes, he did. I believe he did. It is saying he's pitted. So, yeah, Fischer did pit. That's what I was saying. It's odd that Savini is this far back when he was right on his bumper before the pit stops. And even their pit stop times were very, very similar, only a few tenths apart, really. So yeah, here we go. Steph saying Savini has it in a bag. Please no chat curse. Let's hope there's no commentator's curse either. Oops, that was not meant to happen. They say it would be pretty cool to win a Porsche drive while driving the Porsche though, yeah. I think for next time we'll be doing a GT4 only in the GT4 Porsche. I'm not sure if we'll be running this championship next season. I think we'll aim to do it once or twice every year, so possibly towards the start of next year we may be able to do this again. So yeah, so really 13 seconds back. Pagano is around 4.6 back to Sealy. But yeah, about the console off-season event on Sunday. So that is a Porsche Cup race. If any console drivers are interested be sure to sign up. I believe there's only about 3 spaces left in that one. 27 out of 30 drivers so far registered to that event. That is going to be absolute mayhem in the Porsche Cup. Obviously no traction control in that car. It does have ABS. In other Porsche Cup series, some cup cars don't have either TC traction control or ABS. Are now very fun to drive though. Yes, guaranteed. Yep. And especially at Laguna Seca, it's quite a tricky track for those cars as well. I probably died twice during the formation lap alone. Yeah, I think we'll see a few spins in the formation lap. The corkscrew as well is another one where we're going to see a lot of people lose it. And the last corner. The last corner is quite difficult. You get on the power too early, you end up in the pit wall. It should be fun. Where are you hoping to finish, Steph? If there's... say there's 30 drivers in total. But where are you hoping to finish? There's 20 minutes left of this race now. On board with the Sealy. 5 seconds back to... so 5 seconds in front of Pagano. 10 seconds back to Savini. So saying the fact there's no tyre warmers doesn't help. Yeah, but we do have a formation lap, so a full formation lap, so plenty of time to get the heat into the tyres. I don't think that should really be a problem. It's not like the temperatures at the track are too cold either. I think you just hold the brake around the lap, get those temps up. I think you'll be fine with that. Top 10, yeah, there's some. It's a good goal to set, but there's some serious competition in that. I know for sure. And the reverse grid is going to be interesting too. I still need to test that out tomorrow if that works. Bit of a mistake there from Cosford, but we know it works on PC. I still need to test it out if it works on console. I'm sure it does. But if not, then it'll just be 2 20-minute races. But yeah, we'll sort that out tomorrow. But yeah, reverse grid should be fun as well. That's going to be quite difficult for the the fastest cars in race 1 to have to get through all the slower drivers in race 2. And they are sprint races as well, so there's not much time to really get overtakes done. But Fisher looks like he's pretty much pulled away, if not maintained the gap to Savini. And Savini's not really lost anything to Sealy either. And also, fastest lap of the race is an extra point, so Savini is really in a good position here to win the championship. I think Fisher's possibly just understood that, maybe just wants to win the race here and at least end the season off on a high. So who doesn't like some carnage? Yeah, it'll be fun. Good change to what we usually do in the season. And of course, we have our PC on Saturdays next season. We'll have our SimGridX VCO qualifier championships. That's 5 rounds, 90-minute races, and teams of 2. It is a driver swap event as well, so that is filling up very quickly. Almost half full now, I think. And that starts in September, so still lots of time to sign up. And I'm sure that will be full by the time we reach the start of the championship. We've got some big teams signed up as well. We've got Brabham Esports. We've got, I believe, Whipperman Racing, which is another team who competes in SRO Esports as well. Some serious competition in that one too. And then the top 8 teams in that will have a chance to enter the SimGridX VCO Grand Finals, which is going to be a massive event for the teams. And I believe that will be a multi-class as well, so you have GT3s. It'll be a 3-round championship endurance racing, and that'll be a 3-round endurance championship and multi-class as well, so GT3 and GT4 cars. Pretty much just like your normal GT Road Challenge endurance racing. So the race leader then Fisher still continuing out on his own. Sunday drive for him. It wasn't in the first stint, but after the pit stops, something happened to Savini. They're saying VCO sounds absolutely insane. Wish I had a PC and pace to compete. Yeah, it is going to be ridiculous. Although SimGrid have tried to make this one that's open to everyone. But of course there are still some serious teams competing. But they've wanted more than just the top esports teams competing. They want more of a range of abilities, pretty much what we've been doing here as well. These championships have been open to pretty much everyone. We've had top esports drivers, pros competing with amateurs pretty much, and that's what I believe SimGrid were aiming for, and VCO aimed for in their grand final event. Of course, the top 10 communities, or there's 10 communities on SimGrid who each have their own qualifier event, and you can only qualify through one of the communities. Steph saying, well, from what I've seen here and experienced Div 2 and PS5, it seems to work really well. Yeah, it does work quite well. And we'll also have splits, divisions, tiers for our championships next season as well. Although there's not going to be it's not really going to be a hot stint or anything like that. The drivers will have to self-assign them into splits, so that should still allow for drivers to race with each other in case they're not able to make one of the days. Obviously our championships cover quite a few days of the week. This is for PC we're talking about. Console will still have our usual 2 divisions on the Sunday. And looks like that's Sealy who has made a mistake. Pagano's just got ahead now, sitting down into P4. And what has happened here? Let's have a look. Let's stop the autopilot of the cameras. And looks like well, it's very late defending there from Pagano. Sealy pulls towards the outside of the track and he's got ahead now. And back ahead goes Sealy into P3. And this is some drama towards the end of the race, which we didn't really expect. But the battle for the final podium position, P3 here, is going to be a close one towards the end. Last 10 minutes of the race to go. And Pagano's now got a good chance of getting past. Still on board with Pagano, sticking within half a second to Sealy. Late on the brakes there from Pagano. But it seems like he's struggling with a bit of understeer on the car. That could be to do with tyre, a bit of oversteer there as well. That's usually a corner where we see quite a bit of oversteer with the car. Especially the mid-engine cars like to step out a bit through there. Yeah, Sealy's now able to pull away a bit more. Maybe just manage his tyres better. And I'm really struggling now to get the car turning. You see the understeer is getting through the corners. Understeer on entry, a bit of oversteer on exit. Slightly different lines for the 2C with a much later apex. Getting more speed down the straight. Pretty much squared off the corner. But Pagano through the S's now has caught back up the Sealy. Pagano using much more curb through these S's. And Sealy with some damage, so that's why he's dropped back. He's had a bit of an incident somewhere into the barriers, it looks like. And that's what would have caused him to lose the position earlier to Pagano. Steph saying these cars just look amazing in the night time like this. Yeah, I mean, if you think console graphics are good, wait till you get on PC. And of course, through the stream, it doesn't look as crisp. I believe on Twitch it is better. YouTube does. There's a bit more filtering going through on YouTube. A bit more processing going on. But yeah, they do look amazing in the nighttime. Especially the glowing exhaust and the flames they spit there, as we just saw from that Lamborghini of Seely's. Pagano was able to keep up for a bit, and now he's dropped back, and even with that damage that Seely's got, he's able to pull away from Pagano behind. So I think even Pagano, is that damage, or is that just his car a bit dirty from all the rubber? I think it is. I know the debris that's obviously flung up in the air when the cars drive around the track. Yeah, no, he's not got damage. Those tyres must absolutely be gone at this point. So he's still in the 136s, even though he's got that damage. And where is Fisher? Still lapping round. Yeah, Steph. Oh, that must have been horrible. Every time you brake, lights go out, and then you have no idea where the corner is. Looks like Pagano may have closed in a bit more to Seely. Found a bit more pace this time round, actually. 5/10 quicker was Pagano that last lap than Seely. And he's caught back up. This could be a battle till the last lap. Is Pagano just playing with his food here? Yeah, Fisher still leading the race, 12 seconds in front, but at this point it will be the championship that goes to Savini. Still got another lap to go. So one more lap after this. So you can barely hear the Ferrari or the Lambo. Gets me every time. Yeah, the Ferraris don't sound that great, to be honest. They sound a bit like the BMW actually, if you go on board with them now. They sound very similar to the BMW. There is a slight difference, of course, but there are similarities as well. Obviously, I think sound's not perfect compared to real life. I think probably the closest cars, Porsche's very close. The Lambos are quite close as well. The Mercedes is almost bang on. But yeah, where is our race leader then? Fischer. Yeah, I think that's the right word, Steph. I know what you mean. Fischer's been lapping slower than Savini. Hasn't really affected him. He's going to catch up to Ivanov. Some traffic there. What's happened to Civilotti? He's off the track and he's down in P7 now. Is it fuel or has he made a massive error? I think he's maybe crashed somewhere. Oh, it could be fuel. He's driving very slowly. And Ivanov, where is he? He's just let the leader through. Is maybe Civilotti waiting for the leaders to come past? And oh, what's happened to Fischer? He's got some oversteer there. Was that contact between the two? Let's have a look. No, it wasn't contact at all. But Fischer's going to cross the line here, and he's going to finish P1 in this race. Oh, bit of contact towards the end. It's not what we want to see, but he's going to finish P1. Savini's going to finish P2, but winning the championship here and the drive in the Porsche. So Savini P2, but P1 in the championship. Congratulations to him. Seeley is going to cross the line in P3. Still got a few more corners to go, actually. It's not over yet. Bagano just behind him. Yeah, so top three, Fischer, Savini and Seeley will be back for some interviews, so make sure to stick with us. So it's going to be time for some interviews now with our podium. Let's actually bring in, we've got Fisher here, winning the last race, but not taking the championship, unfortunately. I think you definitely had the pace to win, but a few bad results. I think Silverstone was one of them. But going into this round, I think a few of the comments and the viewers were saying that you should have held up Savini at the start and backed him up into the rest of the pack, and that could have possibly helped you.
I would have to really back him up to
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah, it would have been quite hard work.
No, I don't think any of that is necessary. I mean, he almost ran out of fuel,
Oh,
but
really?
he had a good engineer that told him, so that didn't happen. Yeah, I mean, the bad rounds are really the rounds where the BMW wasn't that good. I mean, I made a few mistakes as well, let's be honest, but yeah, I mean, and those happen to be the tracks where the Ferraris were really flying, so it's like I would have liked a few more P2s to win this stuff, but it is what it is. I've really enjoyed it fighting with Savini, and you know, congrats to him for winning a track day. I hope he enjoys it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always next time, isn't there? We're gonna do this championship again, possibly towards the start of next year, but it's gonna be in the GT4s, in the Porsche, so even cars for everyone. And
in the Porsche GT4.
Yes, okay. Even cars for everyone.
I'll keep an eye out for that. For sure.
It should be good. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you with us on the grid.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, I ended up having the most wins, so you know that's good.
Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bodes well for next time. But yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats, anyways. And
I'll go and congratulate Savini, and then you can go interview him then.
All right. See you. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye bye.
We'll give them a minute or two. But Steph was saying in the comments some donuts he heard as well. Yeah, there were equal engines for everyone. Yeah, equal engines for everyone. That's the way to do it, really. Especially when the BFP is quite. It's not great at the moment with on ACC, but I think when everyone is in the same car, it's mostly down to driver skill, and there's not much in terms of setup you can do with the GT4s. There is a bit, but most of it will be down towards the drivers. So let's see if we can bring in Savini now. Don't want to interrupt their conversation, but we need to bring Savini in very quickly. I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation if you're having one with Fisher there, but Savini winning the championship and taking the prize. That's going to be a brilliant prize for you. But before we get onto that, what happened in the pits? Was it, I think Fisher said, fuel? What happened to your fuel?
Yeah, I wasn't focused at all. I was like, I don't know what I was thinking about. I was behind Gert and I was managing myself because I felt like how I had a bit more of pace of him, but I don't know, I wasn't focused and I didn't watch the fuel, and so yeah, after that I did one lap like coasting the whole time because I managed to pit at 0.3 liters, so
Oh my God.
so yeah, I was in map 3 and then I also restarted after the pit in map 3, so I was also very slow after the pit. But then I realized I returned again to map 8 and tried to focus again and still managing to get the prize.
Yeah, all you needed to do is, finish within a position of Fisher. And
yeah, I mean, what I needed to do was not fucking up, and I fucked up. so yeah, it wasn't a brilliant race from me, but it's fine like this. I mean, I get the prize. For me, it's gonna be the first time in my life in a race car, so for me, it's like it means so much, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved for you. I mean, you showed your pace throughout the season, and yeah, you took home the win. It's been a pleasure having you on the grid with us, and I mentioned this to Fisher as well. We'll be doing this championship again, probably towards the start of next year. And it'll be in GT4s only, so the GT4 Porsche only, which makes more sense.
Yeah.
Everyone in equal cars, and that will be some serious competition then as well. But yeah, congrats once again on the championship.
Thank you.
And
thank you very much.
We'll be.
And thank you to you all guys for organizing this.
Yeah, no worries at all.
It's been fun to me, and thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a shame there's not been too many drivers towards the end, but it's summertime, you know, it's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, last season when we our grids were pretty much completely full, so yeah, hopefully after the summer it will be better. But
thank you.
Yeah, we'll be in contact with you guys about your prize soon. So just watch out on Discord. But yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for joining. And
thanks to you.
We will see you shortly.
Bye bye.
There we have it, ladies and gents. That was it for this championship. We will be back live on Wednesday and Thursday for the last broadcast of the season. And then, of course, we'll be back in September. So thanks for watching. Take care and good night.